Like, for example, and I don't know what you would call it on this show, but I have a, this is big, actually. I have a very different relationship with corn nowadays. It's porn.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
what they say.
Oh, corn.
Yeah, I don't watch it anymore at all.
Good for you.
I don't.
Has it improved your sex life with your girlfriend?
Yeah, actually, it has.
It does.
It really has. So this is an interesting topic that, you know, we could dive into.
I would love to, because there's a lot of kids. Well, let's talk about this, bro. You're good at getting out of addiction.
But why is it important for me to be talking about it?
Because you're good at getting out of addiction.
No. Well, yeah, but bro, I was in that world. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I was in, you know what I'm saying? Like I was a part of that world.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Like bro, some
you were deep in that world, bro.
Some gnarly shit has happened, bro. Some gnarly shit, and I have started to really realize the impact that the adult industry has on the girls in the space.
Yeah, dude.
And like this is the first time I'm talking about it, and people ask me every day, and I've not talked about it, but Emily Willis, bro, like really fucked up situation, dude. Like honestly, like where I don't know what to do in that scenario. Like as much as I'm a 39-year-old man, I don't know what to do in that scenario. I have reached out. I promoted the GoFundMe. I made a small donation. I don't know. I don't even know if it was, you know, what the use case was for the donation. What else is needed? I don't know who to ask. I reached out to, I'm not going to say who, someone in the space. They thought it was a good idea that I did not continue to reach out to her, which was very upsetting for me.
Where is she at right now?
I don't know. So basically, Emily was in treatment for a continued, you know, chronic issue with addiction, same kind of thing that I dealt with, different drugs, and had some sort of situation happen where she went into a coma, and evidently the toxicology came back clear, and that and drugs didn't play a role in her actually having this situation happen, which was shot. I still am very out of the loop on what exactly happened, but I really truly don't know what you do in a scenario like that. She had some level of improvement from what I understand. She was having eye movement and able to acknowledge stuff from people. I believe she was moved back to Utah to be closer to her family so that they can care for her. But I mean,
has she been in treatment since that one incident between us?
No. I mean, no, not in some semblance.
So she came in and out.
Yeah, you're talking about when you talked to her in the kitchen that time.
Yeah.
Probably some semblance just of in and out of it. But
because when we did the Sidemen thing, she looked clean.
I never really knew. I spent a lot of time with her prior to dating. So the story with me and Emily is we were spending a lot of time together prior to me and Lana dating.
Like romantically?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah, you did. No, yeah, you did. Me and Emily were like in a lot of ways, like I think in her.
But that wasn't a serious thing. I think you guys were casual.
Casual, but I think you know how quickly it's possible to be serious in one person's mind and not the others. And more than anything, we were very, very close friends. Like if there was a problem, we would call upon each other, and she knew that I had been through similar shit that she had, and there was a history there. And when me and Lana started dating, kind of like quickly, I lost contact with her. I think it wasn't like it
wasn't appropriate to speak to another female.
And also I don't think she was. I don't know if she was like super happy about like the timeline and how quick it kind of like took off, and like me and her not like maybe having a chance to cut our thing off and like stop, talking and stuff. And me and Lana would move fast. You know what I'm saying? And so we ended up talking again after me and Lana split up, became friends again. We were shooting content. We jumped off the top of the Las Vegas Tower together. Like we did this like rappel, and we were hanging out here and there. And she was, I love Emily. I love her. She is one of the best souls, just the sweetest souls that just, back to the beginning of this conversation, got tangled up in the demons of all of this life, and
what was your learning curve from this? Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, I guess one of them is like, it is like, bro, I try my best to check in, bro. I try my best to check in. And as someone who built their life off of networking, I can only check in on so many people, bro. I mean, we talked about this earlier. Maybe I could have done a better job calling, texting a second time or a third time. Yo, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, bro. And I didn't do that with her either. And like, I'll get in these places where I am mad at myself because I haven't done what I could have done to prevent something. And I know that's not right, but like I'm like the person that had like the stuff to tell her. You know what I'm saying? That could have helped. And I did. Don't get me wrong. I had those conversations with her. But like sometimes I just get like a little bit like mad at myself. You know what I'm saying? For not having done something. And as an addict, like I should know it's not going to come from somebody else, bro.
Do you feel like it could have gone differently if you would have handled it differently, and you're weighing that on you?
No, because in the end, I don't even know that it was drug related. The toxicology came back and it was clear, and I don't know. I'm really venting right now, and I haven't talked about this, and I haven't really even talked to anybody about this. Like, obviously, I'm not in a rush to like talk to my girlfriend about this situation, or like I don't really have anybody to talk to about it. So I'm not like, I don't have like a stance. I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I reached out to one person, like I said, they just said like, I don't think it's appropriate that you talk to her, which hurt me. And I'm not going to say who that person was, but like that like hurt me, bro, because I've been friends with Emily for a long time. And, I don't know. I just really don't know like what else can be done. What do you even do in that situation? Do you show up? Like even more so like as like a fucking human, like those moments are terrible, bro. Like going and seeing that is like, is she even gonna know I'm fucking there? Or am I gonna be the only one that knows that I'm there? And am I gonna be the only one that has to live with that vision of seeing that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I have no info. I have no fucking info on the situation.
I think you're holding a lot of weight on you because deep down you hold more wisdom than the surroundings that you're a part of. So when you see somebody on the path that you were on, and you dude, remember, you didn't put a gun to her head saying do these drugs and do this life. There's a part of you that has that reality check where you're like, okay, this has nothing to do with me. We became friends when you're in this life. But then there's the other part of you that's like, well, I wrote a book not to say I'm a book writer, it's because I want to help people. And I think that what's hurting you is that you see periods in your life where you could have stepped in and kind of pushed her in a way that a shepherd does sheep. You're not going to control the sheep, but you could help manage and say, hey, like I've been here, I know where you're at. You should act like this and doing this. So I think the takeaway is this, bro, like take from the bad and the good and move on. You're broken and so is she, so you shouldn't be holding the weight of her decisions. But moving forward, when you're next year and you see in this young girl's eyes moving in the same way that Emily would be, then take it upon yourself to be like, no, I'm not going to let this one fall through the cracks. So if God forbid she does go into the fire, I could rest assured knowing that I chose and did everything that I can to get you from not to touch the fire. I think what's hurting you now is that you know your influence, and you know that you make money off of your influence, and you have power over your influence. So that same sword that you wield here that you could celebrate could cut a neighbor next to you. And so when you hold this type of power in your hand, when somebody falls in front of you and you know you could have done something, especially when you know you're empathetic, dude, it's going to hurt you. And as it should, because you don't want to forget this moment. It would be worse for you to see this and then not take it into consideration. That's when you should be worried. But for you to be sitting there puzzled, hurt, confused, frustrated, that's good. You're trying to work out this problem. Rest assured, none of it's on your fault. None of it.
I know that. I know as somebody who like couldn't be changed by any doctor or rehab, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it took me taking those cues, but like any addict watching this, like it's on you. It's on them. It's only when they're so sick of it and they can't take it anymore. They can't live one more day in that shame, that pain, that sadness, that despair, and they decide to pull themselves out of that pit. You know,
I think you should bring it to God. And I know it's like, okay, here's the part where he talks about God.
I mean, I do. I pray for her. I pray for her, but I just honestly, like, I don't. It's just such a weird situation, bro, because I've lost people. And honestly, like this is something people talk about when they come from, not that I do, but when they come from like a real gutter street life. It's almost, there's closure in death. Seeing someone kept alive by a machine is a very, very hard thing to cope with, you know? And I have nothing on her family members and loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm a friend, you know, who cares deeply about her. But like, dude, there's such a difference between, it's almost like this purgatory. You know what I'm saying? That like, you're just, you as a person, you're praying and hoping every day that things are going to get better. But I just don't know, man. I don't know how to even approach it.
I think the toughest thing that a leader or a father or a husband or a mother could go through is doing their absolute best to give wisdom to someone you love so they don't hurt themselves, but then you're watching that person hurt themselves over and over again. Like, for example, your mom. Like, your mom suffered more than you. You suffered because you were in the situation that you were in your body and you're in the blood and the transfers. And you hurt, but I promise you, bro, I promise you with every bit of my heart, your mother hurt more. Well, I know that.
More. You read the book. Yeah. You know I know that. I mean, it's
so that's the thing. And I think maybe that's the driving vehicle for you to do what we were talking about in the beginning of this episode is like, I think that you know that there's a lot more Emilys out there. And I think that and I hate to be the guy to say this, but I think that you dabble in the industry that puts people in that place.
Which one?
I mean, bro, like when you have a porn star girlfriend and you promote this stuff.
No. That's why I brought this conversation up. Well, hold on. I want to be a little cautious. So I know there was no OnlyFans links. There was no. My goal.
When you see Mike Majlak, you think of beautiful naked women and burgers. That's your brand. You could fight me.
I'm not fighting you or disagreeing with you at all. But no, the comments, they don't have to because I agree with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
I'm not. There was a little bit of nuance there.
What does that mean?
It means there's people who promote adult content and there's people that promote content by way of personalities who happen to create adult content. Does that make sense?
But what happens when somebody watches you and then walks that direction?
No. There's a reason why I no longer make that type of content. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why I know that's what was the catalyst to this entire conversation. Let me just say this because just to really try to get it right. I always thought, and I still think that these are people. These are people, broken people maybe not making the best decisions, people who may think they're making the best decisions. Who knows? Some of them were Lana was already completely disgusted by the decisions she had made in the past. Disgusted by it. Well, just unfortunately can't make it go away, right? When I make content with them, obviously with the goal of driving views to my content, it was never to say, yo, get in this like super skimpy outfit and hold a sign with your OF link on it. I could have done. Do you know how much money I would have right now?
A lot.
Do you have any idea how much money I would have right now?
Millions.
If tens. If
You promoted links. Yeah.
Not even just promoted links. What if I'd said,
Agent them.
yo, the first ever Lana tape back is me and Lana. And by the way, Lana, we're splitting half and half. Do you not think that was not an option? She was about to go back anyways before we started dating. It was everything was I could have gone as deep as I wanted into that space. I was the mainstream, besides Adam, the mainstream contact for that space. Could have gone as far as I wanted. Never dropped the link. Never said, yo, follow this, whatever, or promoted X, Y, and Z. Never did it because I may have walked close to the fire, and now looking back and probably like, damn, I wish I hadn't gotten that close to the fire and don't want to do it anymore. But I look at I look at them as people. Yeah. I look at them as people. Now, unfortunately, if the result of having them in my content is more young men watching that type of content, then I can't do it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I know that now. Looking back, I know that now. But at the time, I was like, okay, I can showcase these people's personalities without driving people to their content, and it will just be like, oh wow, these are people. Yeah. I wanted to humanize, and there was a value in it for me. But now I understand the side effect of shooting that type of content. And by the way, once again, just to say it, love all those girls. Still love all those girls. Like, great people, some of the most fun I've ever had, not sexually, some of the most fun I've ever had. They're cool girls. They play their guitar. They hang out. They're fun conversations. But I don't wish that. I just don't wish that lifestyle and that industry upon them, because it's a really nasty place, unfortunately.
I always looked at them as humans.
I know that.
Never once did I not look at them as humans. If a young lady decides to do OnlyFans, I look at her the same way as the man who's buying the OnlyFans. Yep. It's the same thing. And
yeah, how weird is that relationship?
I'm not one to look at any. Let's bring up Lana or Sky or anything. When I see God looking down on earth, I don't see him looking at Lana and looking at Sky and then looking at George and being like. No, because like the truth is, bro, I watched porn. So like equally, we're the same in his eyes.
Right.
They made money off it. In fact, they're winning. They made a profit out of it. I lost nothing. I gained nothing from it. I just lost.
Well, somebody went on a Red Pill show recently and really reinforced that and was like, dude, the only reason Sky Bree, Lana, any of those people exist is because of the men in the audience.
You can't point your finger.
It is a which one came first, the chicken or the egg situation for a lot of guys. Because if, say, the content didn't exist, right, then the audience wouldn't exist either. So which one, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I would look at Sky and be like, listen, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're funny. You've made these decisions. You could go in this direction. The same way that I would look at this young man and be like, look, you're good, you're healthy, you're young. Just go this direction. I'm not saying that they're beneath me, and I'm not looking at them like they're not people. But the same way as you, it has nothing to do with drugs and has nothing to do with porn, but the way you're handling your business, I'm like, hey, dude, I want you to do better in life.
For sure.
You should take this approach. I think because there's so many people on podcasts being like, if you do this, you're gross and you're disgusting and you're blah, blah, blah. But then guess what? The truth catches up to them. And then something in their closet gets pulled out. So this is what happens. So don't play yourself. That's why when I tell somebody like Sky or Emily or Lana, like, hey, you shouldn't do this, is because I struggle with it. Right. I would watch you ladies online, or I would watch you do this, or I watch you do that. I'm not pointing my finger saying, hey, stop this. I'm just saying our life would be so much better without this. We should do this together. You should stop shooting it, and I should stop jerking it. Like, I'm never looking at it like I'm above you looking down at you. I'm just saying that I was unwise, and if I would have kept that behavior, it would have ruined this beautiful relationship that God put in front of me. So when God saved me with wisdom to get out of this, I just want to take the same medication and give it to my neighbors and be like, hey, I love you. Like, dude, I'm glad you made this money. You did all that. Take it now. Go do your own thing. Like, you don't need to do this anymore. I'm not going to judge you from your past, bro. Like, me and you are the same thing. In fact, I think you're in a better position. You have more finance now. Now you can get out of it.